Good afternoon and welcome to round 8 action of Sunday football here at the SCG as the Swans are at home to the Port Adelaide.
These teams are really, and when you look at Port Adelaide's team on paper, even though they've got a few missing in the midfield, they've still got some awesome players that you really have to watch out for. Treadray, best centre-half forward in the competition according to many, and well, if you know you're playing on Byron Pickett, you don't buy your bananas green. So that Port Adelaide lineup can beat anyone on its day, and they got a little bit of form back last. Attractive to watch, and especially when Barry Hall fires. Talk about the best centre-half forwards in the competition. Barry Hall has been superb for them as well. 4 goals last week to Barry, and around him you've got other goal kickers. O'Keefe can kick a few. O'Loughlin as well.
Primus, who was so good last week on the right there, up against Jolly. And away we go. Jolly wins the tap, taken by Franco, who's immediately attracting a crowd. The ball up, the umpires this afternoon, Chamberlain, Nichols and Goldspink. Umpire Goldspink, one of the best, bouncing it alongside the centre circles.
Primus drops back from this now and goes to the front of Barry Hall.
Jolly once more. Pickett well played across half back, sends a high ball down towards half forward. Shawball going back takes the mark. Shawball in the true centre half back position, swings it out very wide. Kennelly, they use him a lot coming out of defence. Good running player, just pops it to space. Buchanan comes up and marks on the wing. And on for the short one, Matthews. That's ignored now. He takes his time out there. Overcast day, currently 18 degrees, looking for a top of 21. Play-on's the call. Buchanan goes to half forward. Plenty of the power down there, missed by Primus. Cochrane falling to the ground, lost the football. Kirk, the skipper, digs it out towards the boundary. It goes, socket forward by Bevan and across the line. Still no score. Early going.
Here's the start of play, and O'Keefe just giving Corns one. Chad Corns to the back, bit of more Johnny O'Keefe than Ryan O'Keefe perhaps. I'm so tough. Ball back into play. Hall knocks it down. Cochrane, good game for Central Districts last week in the SANFL. Played his way back into this Port lineup, and we'll get another ball in.
O'Keefe playing the lead-up centre-half forward role in front of Barry Hall. He's been picked up by Montgomery. O'Loughlin by Bishop at the other end of the ground.
Hall and Primus side by side. Hall reached over, knocked it down. Ablett sharked it. High kick, goal square. Big pack in there. O'Loughlin in the middle of the pack. 3-2 last week against Essendon, so he's in form and slots it. Opening goal of the afternoon to the Sydney Swans.
Barry Hall would have played a fair bit of footy with Wakeland at St Kilda.
O'Loughlin on the lead. Crouch barking the instructions. It's not amused. Play-on's the call yet again. Some indecision there. O'Keefe, well done by Dew, in trouble, trying to back away. And passes to Montgomery, lays it off now to Corns. This is Kane Corns at close quarters to Cochrane. No one in particular intended to get that hand pass. Bolton towards half forward. Buchanan. Well, Cochrane's hand pass was a shocker. Buchanan's kick is a good one. Michael O'Loughlin right behind him with the kick. It's beautiful. He's got 2. So have Sydney.
Bounce is a wobbly one. Primus to his own advantage. Craig Bolton with him. They dive in. Primus is Partra in slow motion from him. Craig Bolton in the end. Got the handball up. Jolly. Nowhere to go. Will he get caught? Yes. Ball turned over here perhaps. Craig Bolton got the handball up just in time. Buchanan, Corns. They'll reload Port Adelaide from the wing.
Corns across the ground. Lade has to wait. Shawball comes. Now a chance for Sydney. This is Crouch. Runs beyond the wing. Inside the centre square. Pulls it back. Intended for O'Loughlin. Well done by Wakeland. Fingertips to it. Goes again with courage. Well played to Corns. He's down and out. Wakeland very slow to get up. He just raised his head, which is a good sign. In fact, he's on his feet now. Meantime, at the opposite end, Kane Corns went down, sliding in Barry. Taken down by Marnie. In fact, he was halfway down already. And now he's holding the football. Well, that's an interesting interpretation. He didn't drag it back in, but he slid in. Got on top of the football. and has been grabbed by Marnie. There you go.
Well, he elected to go it. He elected to get possession of it. He slid in.
Well, that's not dragging it in, though, is it? Should he have slapped it still? I suppose that's what the umpire is saying.
But well, you're right on that terminology, but he's made a conscious decision to put himself over the ball in possession of it.
It's a minefield, Durham, is what it is. Here comes Marnie, meantime, 40 metres out. Misses everything. Off hands in the opposite pocket, Ebert. Back across the goal front. Some courage showing there. That's a wonderful mark. As good as you'll see, Kane Cornes. Cornes in, deserving of a goal, and he gets it. Well done, son. Inside the centre circles, penetrating kick inside the forward 50. Buchanan being held on to. He's going to get the free, or is it going the other way?
No, he grabbed the jumper, a handful of jumper, and tried to keep moving Wilson away with momentum away from the ball.
Well, he was going back to take the kick, Buchanan. It wasn't his to take. Here's Lade getting plenty of the football at the moment. Comes to Cochrane, feeds it back to Walsh. Inside his defensive 50, but not for long. Chips it to Wilson once more, who said all of this in train. Tries to go round the corner to Wakeland. Too clever by half. Chopped off by Moore. Looks back towards the middle. O'Loughlin's already got two. He's marked 45 metres off. And I don't think he'll hand pass this time. No, there you go. Gives it to Ablett, who turns around and kicks a goal. Under pressure, the man was virtually on him, Bishop, but Ablett's got it from long range.
Doesn't Ablett give it a ride? Oh, I suppose the bloodlines are pretty good, Dwayne, eh? To
Certainly
actually kick the cover off the thing.
Son of Kevin Ablett, of course.
Number 35 at the Hawks in the 70s. Laid some hands on it.
Laid the tackle of the year last year, Michael Wilson. Superb.
Bounce right on the 50. Primus goes up and thumps it about 25 metres. Buchanan over the football. Great desperation in there, Salopek. Swans have got the numbers around the pack, and again a couple stood aside. Eventually Franco got it to Salopek, Wanganeen, Cornes, Wilson now Dew. Dew at centre-half back, goes to half-forward. Treadray should mark it, does. Treadray plays on immediately. Walsh runs inside the 50. Can he kick accurately? I think he can. Long time coming. They get their second. They're back in it.
Spell on the wing. Montgomery got it. Looks up. Not a lot to kick to now. Treadray calls for it. It doesn't come in his direction immediately, and in front, Barry takes the mark. Swans can reload. Kennelly through half-back. Goods is on the move. Ball bounced kindly for him in the end. Well gathered to Kirk. Loops it over the top to Matthews. Caught by Cassisi. Crouch. Got it to Hall. Chipped it to O'Loughlin. This to make it a perfect start for the third quarter. And the perfect kick gives Michael O'Loughlin 3. Has been an approach by Paul Roos to the umpires, and Jeff Geeshan has admitted he gets marked harshly, Jeff Geeshan being the umpire's boss. They put a video to Jeff Geeshan and said, how about some of these you should have got? Wanganeen kicks toward Treadray. Barry's with him. Wilson crumbs it. Dew throws himself into the tackle and gets away with it. Treadray throws it back to Dew. High kick. No one in the goal square for Port Adelaide. That is an unbelievable kick. Floated on the breeze. Port Adelaide's back.
Now Wilson told the play on. Not much time granted this afternoon. High ball inside the 50 over the top lane. Thurston's rather nonchalantly through there. Dempster stole it away. O'Keefe to Goods. Kennelly loves a run. Look at him go. Just O'Loughlin inside the forward 50. Goes short to Hall running back on the angle. Barry Hall. 20 goals for the season, including 5 against Brisbane round 3. 4 last week. Kicks, has it got the carry? I think so. Makes it tough for Port. Yeah, that was two real ones.
Ball up, 20 from Port's goal. Shawble to Kennelly. High kick, Wanganeen. Off hands, tackle. No free kick there to Salopek. Wanganeen got it from Primus. Looks up, the leads come. Blades on the move, and he's got it. Momentum rides on this kick, and he swings it back with the breeze. Well read, Robbo. Port Adelaide back in town.
And And I know how you love the meaty stuff. I've got a trend to report. The last 8 goals have been alternated. How about that?
Well, that means they can't lose if it keeps
That's right. Just keep playing like this. Crouch out of the middle. Kicks inside the forward 50. Thurston's a fumble. Hasn't had a very good day. Wanganeen almost a throw. It was a full brother. Wakeland gets it across to Walsh. Arches the back. Just got away. They're under pressure down there. Pettigrew lost the football. Diving in is O'Keefe, and that's not a bad result as things panned out.
What about Pettigrew? When he went to handball that, you could see his mind ticking over as the fist was approaching the ball. No, don't punch it. He tried to gather it in before he got rid of it.
Primus on the way down, backhands it. Pettigrew, chance to make amends. You can hear him go back into the pack muttering, did you ever have one of those days? Comes away with the football now and puts it over the head of Wakeland, who tracks it back towards the boundary. Hostile crowd. Wakeland meantime run down by Jolly. Jarred out of there. McVeigh goes to Hall. Can he kick his second of the afternoon? The second in this term? You bet he can.
Welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground. 3/4 time, and the story so far, Michael O'Loughlin. He was the story in the opening term. 2 marks and 2 goals. And then Kane Cornes, body on the line. He was the one Port Adelaide player who shone in the opening term. Sydney led by 8 points at quarter time. And then a jolly good mark to start the second term. Got the ride on Warren Tredrea. And Sydney, with that superb second term, they controlled the ball. O'Loughlin, another assist to knock nephew of Gary, who slotted through. Peter Walsh, Port Adelaide's only goal of the second term, and Sydney at half-time led by 8 points, and Archbishop George Pell and Mike Willesee certainly were enjoying Sydney Swans action. High tackle on Barry Hall, not paid, proving that he does play under a different set of rules. Stuart Dew, one of the longest kicks in the game, keeps Port Adelaide's chances alive, and the Sydney Swan fans, they started to get a little restless in the third term, but Barry Hall made them a little happier, and just before the break he kicked the second of his 2 goals for the term. And at 3/4 time here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the reigning premiers Port Adelaide are on the ropes. Sydney 6-12-48, Port Adelaide 4-8-32. The Swans by 16 points.
That all works out to a 16-point lead. Very handy margin for the Sydney Swans going into the last quarter.
The margin was 8 points at quarter time Sydney's way. 8 at the half, 16 now. Port faced with a challenge. The reigning champs in trouble at the SCG. Started the final term on Sunday football. Overcast conditions. Bounce favours Lade, taps it down. Franco just 4 possessions. Out of the middle, Jude Bolton kicks it long towards the pocket. Pickett back in defence, and the ball bounces across the line in front of Goods. Boundary throw in at the wrong end for Port.
The only thing you can separate these two teams on the stats, they're all pretty similar. Inside 50s, 30-32 in favour of Sydney, so just a minor split there. Is 6 to 15 marks inside 50. Sydney Swans forwards have won the ball in the air.
Laid to Wilson, taken down strongly by Hall. Just whipped him down. Have the ball up. 2 tough hombres, but of course, different divisions. Bounce 25 metres out. Sydney get the opening goal.
I've got a feeling Barry whispered into his ear, do you like it like that?
Lane has been good. Drives it towards the outer side. Leading back in the race is Kirk. Tracking him step for step. It's been that way all day. Kane Cornes. It's out of bounds on the wing.
He just got into him there and said, how do you like it, roll reversal there? And just giving him a big pile driver into the ground, Barry. It just gives him a little bit of something to go on with.
Yeah. Initially it was gentle, and then right at the end the sting was in the tail.
He's had both shoulders reconstructed too, Michael Wilson, so...
It wasn't got into him last year at Footy Park, if you remember.
Kicking his shoulder onto Kirk. Buchanan comes up with the ball. Oh! This kick for a 22-point buffer. Starts at left, leaves it way left, and nothing right about it. Out of bounds on the full.
Barry Hall, his best effort against Port Adelaide. 6 twice as a Saint, round 11 2000. Hefty bump, as you can see, putting Kirk down in the first qualifying final of 2003 as a Swan. Here's Bishop, back pocket.
Should just play up this end of the ground now. It's all wide open.
Told to hurry up. Here's across the ground to Wanganeen, but it bounces in front of him. Now he's got a problem. Well, that's symptomatic of their afternoon, really. Kick wasn't pinpoint enough.
And that's the way they play, isn't it? I mean, they like to chip the ball around the back half and they get it forward. Give Warren Tredrea one out, but they have to hit the target in the back line.
O'Keefe slaps at Goldwood. In space, Matthews goes to Goods. Very high ball. The breeze helps it. Gives it an extra 20 or so. That went up high enough for the breeze to affect it.
I don't think Goodsy was all that confident off the boot. He looked up at it and went, oh, what have I done here? There he is. Right now he's thinking, oh, I haven't got much of that. That's a very good miss. Going to take some beating from here.
Yeah.
As we said, operations, and it would be tough for him, 28 years of age, to overcome yet another one. I think it would be his third. Ball thump back inside 50. Now Tredrea's inside 50. He fumbles it. Eckerman tucked into the pocket. Kick around the body. And Schauble, last line of defence, takes the saving mark. Barry over the top. Dempster about to get caught. Marnie's got him. Boundary line, a good option for Dempster. Will get a ball in.
What an amazing team man he is, though, Michael Wilson. He's had, what, several knee operations. It could be catastrophic. Fingers crossed that it isn't. But the first thing he does is crawl for the boundary, and he thinks of the team first amidst all those possibilities to make sure his team has 18 on the ground.
Ancorns did well with his smother. Kicks it very high inside the forward 50. Kennelly forces a passage. Roberts Thompson to Bolton. Clever handball under the circumstances. Into the path of Crouch. The Swans simply too good at the moment. Comes back to Jolly. Having said that, of course, Jolly, Kennelly, now Bolton. This is Craig Bolton running through midfield. Kicks inside the forward 50. Lovely finish, and Goods is marked 35 metres out. A goal here, and you would sense it will be beyond Port.
Yeah, what a beautiful little shimmy on the lead here by Adam Goods. Went one way, stopped. T. Montgomery, the reason he's on the ground is because he went to follow Goods out on a lead, stopped, changed direction. It was too sharp for Montgomery when he tried to change direction also to follow. Just lost his footing. It was just a beautiful change in the lead. And Bolton was able to just spot it and curve the kick back at him.
Adam Goods. This could well be the sealer. Kicks beautifully. Sydney in control.
A bad sign for Port Adelaide fans. We'll wait, obviously, for a couple of days to see how bad it is, but at least that confirms it is a knee injury. Dew got the kick towards half forward, but a free kick, and the ball will come back to Cassisi in the middle. On the boundary line, Michael Roberts.
Yeah, Dwayne, obviously in a heap of pain. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes it's good, but he's taken a long time to tell the doctor exactly what it is. It is definitely a right knee, and he's twisted it, and as I said, a lot of pain. They've diagnosed it and had a good look at it, and hopefully it'll be okay, but it doesn't look good for Michael Wilson.
He has been a great warrior for this club as well. For Port Adelaide, both Port Adelaide clubs. Bishop kicks to another man who's been pretty good for both Port Adelaide clubs, and Ebert takes them up.
Left, they've been drifting away.
Has Mr. Couple today. Starts at left, brings it back, and there is a pulse. Travels the world every summer.
Boundary throw in. Primates deftly down to Thurstons. Gets the hand pass away. Walsh to Kane Corns. Runs beyond half back. Little chip shy of half forward, taken by Tredrea. And again, you can see where he is. Virtually on the wing. And somehow you feel that this has been a real problem for them this afternoon. And because there's no Tredrea up ahead, Tredrea kicks it back. It's taken by Cassisi.
It's not really Warren's fault. They're so lost in the midfield that Warren is having to come up and supply like a relief type lead which goes to the wing.
Now he's offering for Ebert, who actually became the de facto Treadray. I hope you're following this at home.
Yeah.
Treadray from 55 metres out goes long down towards full forward. In from the side was Kirk. At the back, Wanganeen. Here's a chance. He's lacking support. He snaps, and I think he's kicked it. The little champ. Something out of nothing.
The 31-year-old Gavin Wanganeen shows that he's still got it. Some brilliance, that is. Port Adelaide may be headed for their lowest score this year, which is 53 points, now 45 on the board.
No.
Jude Bolton, here's Vogels, he can have a shot at goal. Paul Roos gave him a chance. He's replaced Stephen Doyle on the senior list, and he's got 2 from 2. Luke Vogels.
I think that finishes any debate about the result. Like the cut in the British Open, our sealer moves a bit, but that was the sealer officially. Under 2 minutes to go. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Charging in as due. Pickett ricochets off his Swan back to Wanganeen. Wanganeen hooks it down towards half forward. Bevan should mark, and that's a strong effort under some pressure. So Port with a lot of ground to make up now. Just the 10 points so far this season. 2 wins and a draw. Bevan goes back, finds Crouch close to the boundary line. Crouch under these cloudy skies goes to Goods, but as far as Sydney are concerned, things are getting brighter. Goods on the lead is Hall, and he takes the mark low down, and the clock continues to run.
So this will be their 4th win out of 8 games.
Short again, and the mark is taken by Buchanan. Just watching the tape last week, a few Swans when they were running down the clock late in the game, and they took it right to the brink last week. Developed cramp. It'd be interesting to watch training and see how they practice that.
With the stopwatch, obviously. Long kick. Crouch is there, and the ball out of play.
Can you imagine if a player was cramped up and the umpire was heartless and was blowing the whistle and telling him to play on and/or hurry up? The crowd would riot here at the SCG.
Tried Wolf before. Ball back into play. Goods slaps it over the back. Cassisi into the midfield. Ebert running onto it. Howell at bounce. Kindly for Bevan. One last one perhaps. Loads up from 60. Goes long. Lachlan couldn't get there, and it would have been appropriate had he had the chance to finish it.
Inside 50s for the game. Sydney 42, Port Adelaide 40. So been pretty scrappy footy through the midfield, although at times it's had its highlights.
Some players to come back there. Schneider, who played very well in the reserves earlier today, kicked a few goals, and Paul Williams on the right-hand side.
And he nicks the bottom. Oh, that's a shank.
Lakeland's kick out of bounds on the full, and every possession seems to mirror the afternoon for Port Adelaide. Chip kick, Vogels finds McVeigh, but it'll come back, and the time cannot elapse quickly enough for Port Adelaide. Vogels' umpire's telling him to get in the gutter.
Well, this will open up, but this breeze, as he kicks it, the breeze is going to blow from his right to left, so it'll open up the goal face a bit here.
Well, this will ruin Dennis's trend if he puts this through and makes it 3 goals from 2 games.
He's too young to know about the yips. They'll come.
If you only have them for 1 kick, though, they don't count. He brings it back. Gee, he did well with that. Only behind.
Gee, if that was out in the full, the ball wouldn't have been in play for the last 3 minutes.
11 seconds to go. And Vogels, a player with a future, and certainly plenty of enterprise about his game. In the back pocket, Corns. Wanganeen runs it beyond half-back. Little chip up towards the wing. Ebert. Well, he's tried hard, Ebert. There it is, the siren, and the Sydney Swans prevail here at the SCG in emphatic fashion. 9:15.69 to 6:9.45, but watching the game, it seemed the division, the gap between the 2 teams was greater than